What does an IT technician do? Well, really, they're part technologist, they're part counselor, and a lot of it's the relationship. So to be a successful IT technician, first of all, you need to be a people person. You need to have a deep desire to want to help people. That's absolutely necessary. And one of our corporate values is to be humbly confident. You need to have this humble confidence so you don't come across as arrogant with the clients. So we call it a desk side manner, like a bedside manner in the medical. They have to have a very good desk side manner. They also need to have this humble confidence, and they need to have a poker face. So the last thing that a client wants to see is when he asks his IT technician about a problem that he's having, and he doesn't want to hear, "I don't know," or he doesn't want to see an expression on their face like a deer in the headlights when he's paying them, $100 plus an hour, effectively. So you need to have that demeanor and be able to respond to those questions and say, "Okay, great, I think I understand the problem right now. Let me go investigate that." As well as the skill set. If you're gonna hold yourself out as an IT consultant, you better really have the experience under your belt to be able to support that. How can a company tell if an IT technician is experienced? The problem is they can't until it's too late because they don't know the questions to ask. Some people in companies are a little more savvy with IT than others, but generally there's this expectation that if you say you're an IT consultant, that you know what you're doing and you can take care of my network and I shouldn't have to worry about it any further. That's really not the case. So you really have to be careful when you're hiring an IT consultant. We actually have a white paper on our website that's 21 questions you should ask before you hire any IT consultant, which goes through that and it is a very good overview of it. Things you should ask is for references for the other clients. Ask them to, explain a situation, to give them a situation of, servers down at 3 o'clock in the morning and we have to run our business on it at 6 a.m., how would you handle that? And then ask for references. There's some other pieces of it. You should ask them, do they have insurance? Do they have cybersecurity insurance? What kind of training do they have? Do they ask you to sign a non-disclosure before they start asking for passwords and getting into your network? Do they have a contract? Even if you're going to have somebody come out and work on your network and do one thing in a break fix, there should be some sort of terms of service agreement that says this is how we're going to do business, this is how we expect to be paid. In case something goes bad, you have that document to fall back on. You could do an online search, for the IT consultant. If it's a company, it's an IT support company, has multiple people in it, you should be able to find reviews, you should be able to find posts, you should find information on the company online. But, if it's an independent IT consultant, many times, they don't have a website, they don't do any advertising. Generally, if you find anything, it's probably only because it's bad, that someone's been unhappy and they posted something. So this industry is not regulated. That's kind of the dirty little secret. So there is no regulation, there's no requirement for any specific kind of trainings or any kind of certifications. So I think it's important to also ask the IT consultant to tell you their origin story. Who have they worked for? What have they done? Why and when did they decide to be an IT consultant? What type of companies have they worked with? What type of training have they had? We do that through a vetting process in our hiring. So, it starts with the posting of our job ads on the web and ZipRecruiter, a variety of different places, and the list of qualifications. And then through the interview process, asking very specific questions about what they've done, what they have, who they've worked for, and looking for specific things. Do they have longevity at specific jobs? Are they hopping from one job to another? And then we do a thorough background investigation. We do background investigation. We do drug testing. We do DNV screening to make sure that when we bring people into our organization that they're going to adhere to our rules and regulations and they're going to respect the role that they've been given with the client's data and exposure to the client systems the way we do. We have a set of tests that we ask all applicants to go through. The first one is a personality profile, which is called a DISC assessment. And that gives us information on that person's temperament and if they're suited for the position that we're putting them in. And we've had enough experience with that over the years that we can probably tell with 10 points or so that someone's going to fit within that specific role from that test. And then, yes, there are other tests all the way from, a typing test to an aptitude test to specific basic IT test to specific test in a specific technology that we may need to be proficient in. A lot of times a lot of the situations we're in are very challenging because the client doesn't understand their IT. They don't realize how much they rely upon it to run their business until it's not available anymore. So it's very important for us to be able to understand that going into it, that part of the job is to exude confidence, make the client feel that you understand what the problem is and that you will be able to fix it and give him peace of mind that it's going to be taken care of. And then the actual technician doing the work, having the skills to be able to do that. We've had multiple situations where clients have been down and we've sent someone out and they've been able to bring the system back up very, very quickly, get to the root issue, put the client back online. Sometimes they're minor things, sometimes they're not so minor things. Where the clients have called me or they've sent a testimonial, thanking the technician, thanking us as a company, thanking the technician, saying what a great job the technician has done. We recently engaged with a client and are in the middle of onboarding them. And they came to us with a problem where they had been asked by one of their clients' insurance company to perform a cybersecurity audit. And they sent it off to their existing IT provider. And the IT provider didn't respond to it well, perhaps just checked the boxes the way that they thought the auditor may look at it. And what has happened in the past is really you could kind of get away with that. You could just check the boxes and send the form back. Insurance companies are much more savvy now, and they're looking at that stuff much more closely. So the insurance company came back and said, there's some inconsistencies here that we're not comfortable with, and we want to ask some more questions. Can we speak to your IT provider? And so the client put them in touch with the IT provider, and the IT provider couldn't answer the questions properly. He uncovered that some of the questions had been answered improperly, and the insurance company basically came back and said, we don't feel that your IT provider has the technical capability to be able to manage the cybersecurity of your network. Therefore, we're recommending to our client that they stop doing business with you. So this client lost a major contract. And that was the pain that they were enduring when they called us. So when I got the call, they were looking for a cybersecurity consultant. They weren't necessarily looking for a managed IT provider. They were looking for an IT security consultant. So when we went out and we did the audit, we were able to show them that through proper management of their network and using managed services with extreme focus on cybersecurity, we very quickly could get them to a point where they would be secure, they would be able to pass this audit, and perhaps they'd be able to go back and regain that client.